What is up, watch friends? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony, of course, and today is Saturday, so it's part 2 of the Q&A. Since I had so many questions, I don't want to do videos that take 30-40 minutes, but I also had a really hard time importing the video yesterday. It took me forever. It's one of those things, man. You run into these technical problems sometimes. Today I'm wearing my Rolex GMT Master 2 Batgirl. I don't wear this watch all that much, it seems, it's finding its place in the box and staying there, but I still love this watch. I still do. I love it. So let's roll the intro and we'll get into part 2. And all right, go. So I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate everyone who subscribes, likes the videos, and comments. I love you guys' comments. I read all of them and I respond to all of them. Some of the ones that are just hater, trolly stuff, I've decided to just delete those, and it's not even worth my time responding. But other than that, for everyone else, I appreciate you guys. It's not the amount of subscribers that I have that, means, I'm glad I have subscribers, but when you guys interact and then you do subscribe, and then that's, I guess, the motivating factor for me to keep doing this, because I don't really make any money on this, and it's not my goal to be a full-time YouTuber. I don't really care about any of that. Anyone who knows me knows I don't chase the dollar. I just never have, and it doesn't impress me, and that's not my goal. It never has been, and to my detriment, and I'll explain that too in one of my questions. But let's start. The first question comes from No Fame Culture. No Fame Culture. At this current time, who has a more reliable movement, El Primero, Chronomaster, or Daytona? Are you talking about the new Daytona with the 4131 movement? Because that's a new movement, like the 126500 LN. It's a new movement, so it hasn't really been tried and tested. It's only been out for a year. But overall, when you take those two watches and those two movements, because we're just talking about the movement, right? Who's more reliable? They're both extremely reliable. Rolex are known for making extremely reliable movements, but Rolex are also known for having used the Daytona El Primero movement in the Daytona. So, but when it comes down to it, as far as being reliable, they're both extremely reliable. Either one of them could have a problem, but either one of them, for the most part, are just really good movements. Rolex are known for it, and of course Zenith, the El Primero movement, is known and was known for being one of the best movements in the watch industry. So they're both awesome. So there you have it. Thanks for your question, man. This one comes from Paul Robert Clayton, 5352. What's your view, Tony, on the Longines retrograde Moonphase Master Collection? And then you amended that or added to it addendum. Have I ever owned a Moonphase? Yes, of course. I've still owned several Moonphase watches. And Longines make a great watch. Longines are, they make a tremendous product for the price point. You're looking at the retrograde at about $3,800. And it also comes in two sizes, a 44 millimeter and a 41 millimeter. I would opt for the 41 if I were to get that watch. The only thing for me is it's a busy dial. It's a busy dial, and that's probably too much for me. If I was younger, yeah, I'd be all over it, but I just don't need all those complications. So I'm not really into a lot of complications like I used to be when I was younger. But they make great watches. So if you're planning on picking one up, man, by all means do so, and let me know how you like it if you do. Thanks for your question, man. This comes from Satai, Satai. As microbrands keep rising and improve a lot in dials, case materials, movement, technology, is there a winning strategy in the long term for current top luxury brands? What is the differentiator, sorry man, for them besides brand and marketing to justify the big price difference? Well, besides brand and marketing, I mean, brand and marketing. But at the same time, the research and development that these companies have done, you know, throughout the years, the movements and the manufacturers, that the models, everything that they've created, you know, are a big, huge part of where they're at and why they're where they're at, you know. They can ask for these big prices and people pay for them because they know what they're going to get. Microbrands, you don't know what you're going to get. Don't get me wrong. Some microbrands are really nice. They look cool. Like Studio Underdog, just a fun watch, right? I mean, would I have it as my everyday only watch? No, of course not. But there's no real research and development. I'm not saying there isn't any, but everything's pretty much been done. For instance, you take the Submariner, right? Rolex Submariner. And everyone's got a Submariner. Everyone's got a Submariner. Everyone's got a Submariner. There's a reason for that. And there's a reason why not every single brand, but it's the most copied watch on the planet. You know, you see these Rolex. Well, Rolex is a pretty good watch, man, but I'll tell you what, I'll stick with a Timex any day of the week. But that's the thing. They've made their point. They've proven their point. You know, and that's the thing. And also, you know that if you buy a Vacheron, Patek Philippe, Rolex, whatever, they're going to be around for a long time to come. You know, I was almost going to say Breguet, but you know, Breguet should be. But they're sort of stuck in, I don't know where, they're like in a void right now, and I really hope they get out of that because Breguet make phenomenal watches. But that's, you know, that's where it comes from too. And of course, you're saying besides brand and marketing, but that's a huge thing, right? A lot of these micro brands don't have the budget for the marketing like the bigger brands, especially like Rolex, man. But you know, and at the same time, do you know if you buy a micro brand that you really like, if they're going to be around in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? You know what I mean? So you know, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So, and you also have other micro brands. You've got some of these Swiss watchmakers that are making these tremendous watches at, you know, really high dollar price points as well, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. And they've only been around for a very short period of time. Now, if something goes wrong with that watch, where are you going to take it if that company goes out of business? You know, and if you're speaking of high complications, you know, those are extremely expensive to maintain, or not to maintain so much, or to repair if anything goes wrong with them, you know. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question, man. This comes from Deek714, DEEC714. So do you think Sylvester Stallone is banned after selling his very limited personalized Patek? I actually answered that question last night, man, but I appreciate it. I don't know, you know. And again, I didn't look into it. Is that money going to charity? If it's going to charity, that's a whole different thing. You know what I mean? I almost have a feeling that it is. He doesn't need the money, and I'm sure he's not selling it because he needs the, you know, he doesn't need the money. But if it's going to charity, then that's a whole different thing. If it was, and it benefits some, you know, some child foundation or whatever foundation, cancer research, whatever it may be, then if Patek did that and barred him, then fuck Patek, man. I got issues with Patek anyway, but at the same time, you know, just one of those things. So I don't know. I don't know the full details, you know. But thanks, man, for your question. This comes from Patrick3450. I got a question about Rolex. Their watches are more stable in terms of market value, but is there a bubble? There are so many on the market now, and no one buys in the market. However, the ones I see being bought are Rolex in Scandinavia. But since we are in a recession, do you agree we can expect lower prices before increases? I don't know about the bubble, man, but Rolex, their watches are more stable in terms of market. No one buys in the market. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, a lot of people buy in the market. If you're talking about buying from an AD, of course. If you're talking about secondary market, yes, they're buying. Can you see prices going down? Not on Rolex. They'll go up before they go down. I mean, they're not going to go down on, like, Rolex themselves. You know what I mean? Some of the watches on the secondary, have been dropping. Some of them are holding, and the market's kind of all over the place, and it's like the stock market. It's not completely 100% stable. You know what I mean? So. But as far as the brand themselves, the company, no, prices aren't going to go down. They're not going to drop their prices. I think JLC did something real stupid. They increased their pricing by 40% on some of their watches. Now they're dropping some of the prices, but they did something absolutely ridiculous. They shouldn't have done what they did. Granted, they are the watchmaker's watchmaker. Yes, they make some of the best movements in the watch industry, and then start jacking their prices up so high, people are going to got pissed off about that. So I think some of their models have come down. But yeah, thanks for your question, dude. I appreciate it. This comes from a generic user CO2ES9XV3W. Hi Tony, how comes that celebrities like Sylvester Stallone and Russell Crowe are on one hand claiming that their watches are okay? This is the same question I just answered pretty much. Apart from at the end, you say, did they finally find out that watch collecting is pointless? What's your take on this? What do you mean, did they finally find out that watch collecting is pointless? Are you saying watch collecting is pointless? Because that's exactly the way that you put that down. And some people don't think, some people do think that watch collecting is ridiculous and pointless, but not to all of us. People have their things that they collect, whether it's shoes, on women's end, it could be handbags, it could be jewelry, it could be clothing, it could be whatever it is. Guys don't have too much, you know what I mean? They can collect certain things and whatever, cars or whatever, and some people like watches. As guys go, for the most part, we're not into big jewelry stuff. We like to have watches and different choices. So I don't think it's pointless at all, man. But thank you for your question, dude. This next one comes from Ashley Hammond. What was your favorite moment in music? Ashley, I'm not sure what you mean by this. If you're asking me what my favorite moment in music is, like if a new band came out, was it related to someone else or my music career? If you're talking about my music career, there's been so many. I've been in the industry for a long time. I think probably my favorite was walking away from the industry. I can't stand the music business. I love music. I love playing. Can't stand the business. I'm probably one of the only dudes that, I said earlier that, I'm not driven by the almighty dollar. Granted, that's again what I said to my detriment, because, we all need money to survive and to live, and you start getting to my age and you start thinking about retirement and going, well, fuck, I'm never going to be able to retire, man. Unless something happens, you know what I mean? And then in the same time, I'll walk away from a major publishing deal, and music publishing deal. And music publishing is, like in a sense where you write a song and you keep your publishing. The music publishing is where the money is at. You could write a hit song, or you could have an artist. I'll give you, say, Britney Spears. Well, no, Britney's just big. But just take a big artist that has a hit song, but it was written by another songwriter who you have no clue who it is. You just think that artist sings this famous song, and they don't have any money, or they don't have a lot of money because the person who wrote the song, say they kept their publishing and were able to keep their publishing, made the majority of the money on that song. So in a sense, I have a publishing deal where I keep the majority of all the money of the songs I've sold. And from recent, and that's not always been the case. There's been, I've been out where I've not gotten a penny for anything, but I just, when it comes down to the business, I would rather walk away saying it's not worth my time to do this anymore, and it's not fun anymore to do it. So, but there has been a lot of really good times, man. I've had a lot of good times in the music business, and some of the touring I've done has been great, seeing, the world for the most part. I haven't been to Australia, but, and there's a lot of places I haven't been, but there's a lot of places I have been. And when you're traveling like that, and you're traveling in more luxury, like when you're a hired gun, an artist, that's when you call it a hired gun, is they pay you as, say, a side guy to fill that position. And when you're getting paid like a direct deposit, you're getting a per diem, which means you get a salary that goes directly into your bank account, but then you also get a per diem, which means they give you money each day for food and whatever else, which usually I don't eat that much anyway. I can go out and drink and whatever, and then you're traveling the country or whatever in a nice bus, and you're staying in nice hotels and things like that, so it's very comfortable, it's very easy. You don't worry about certain things, and you know what I mean. Anyway, thank you for your question. This is from Michael Jordan 6008. Hey man, I was a huge fan of the Lakers. The Bulls. Chicago Bulls, right? Sorry, man. Is there any truth to the online rumor that Rolex is discontinuing the green dial Oyster Perpetual? Anything you hear from anybody about something that Rolex is doing, discontinuing, or whatever, it's just a rumor, and that's all it is. Nobody really knows. And then the YouTubers or whoever got it right, they just got lucky. Well, I think this is going to get discontinued, and I predicted it, I knew it, because I have inside information. No, you don't. You just got lucky. I don't know, man. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I don't know. Right now, it's been there for a few years. It's, just like the turquoise style, 36 is still there. 41's discontinued. But the green, it's a pretty good color. It's pretty popular. But yeah, so no one knows, man. This one's from Tab 3 Gator. Question: why is your Zenith using an El Primero when it's not a chrono? Can you explain why they call it that? It's because that's what they called it. An El Primero, generally, they started as all chronographs, didn't they? Right? And then they made the three-hand El Primero. So that's what it is. I don't know, I would imagine it's made with the same, certain components of the regular, the Chronomaster El Primero, just without the chronograph. So I appreciate your question, though, man. I wish I could give you a better answer. I mean, it's just, why is his name John? Because that's what his parents called him, So I'm not trying to be a dick. I just really, man, I think that's what it is. This is from Michael Jordan. This is the second question. Tony, when you go to an AD to buy a new watch, do you ask for a discount? I know that it's unlikely to get a discount on a Rolex, but how about IWC or Blancpain? I don't ask for a discount. I basically just say, hey, Juan, man, what can you give this to me for? And, then I'll get a bit of a discount depending on what it is, And you should. I mean, not Rolex, you're not going to get a discount on a brand new Rolex. Not anymore. You used to be able to. I mean, when I bought my first Bindi Datejust, not my first Datejust, but my first Bindi Datejust, 2018, they gave me a 10% discount on it. But, that was before all this shenanigans that went on in the watch world and the COVID, But yeah, ask them. It doesn't hurt, dude. And if you can't get a discount on a frickin' IWC or a Blancpain, find another AD that'll give you one, dude, because you can get discounts. Thanks for your question. This is from Joel Bolt 88. Great videos as always, Tony. Thanks, bro. What's your opinion on color matched date wheels? Should Rolex color match its date windows for Cyclops models? Yeah, I mean, that would be cool, wouldn't it? I do like, obviously we got a Cyclops on this with a white, dial. That's just the way Rolex are, and I'm okay with that. My Cartier that I wore last night, with the blue dial, and it has a blue color matched wheel, and I think that's awesome. I love that when brands do that and they color match, With Rolex, I'm not so concerned with, because I'm just so used to them being the way that they are, you know what I mean? But sometimes you see a brand, you go, look really cool if that was color matched. So yeah, man, I wish they would. I mean, it would be cool, right? Either way. Thanks for your question, man. David Parrish Productions 5. Greetings from Washington. Hey, David. Sorry, man. Hey, how's it going, bro? Your son graduated college, so congratulations to your son. You should be very proud, man. I saw your pictures on Instagram. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are on Instagram and you haven't followed me, by all means, step on over there. I'm Talking Timepieces with Tony. And I got watches and stuff on there, just watches. Greetings from Washington, D.C. My son graduated from college today. I know, dude. Let's see, I should read the question before I make the comment, right? Congrats, dude. I can't miss my Tony Gamble fix. Right on, dude. I appreciate that. Question: what are your favorite watch accessories, tools, boxes, winders, etc.? Thanks, brother. Winders, no. Boxes, I have boxes. As long as they serve the purpose and they look okay, then boxes are cool. But my favorite overall tool would be this. This is from going back when I was a watchmaker, all right? This is just a little pocket knife, right? From a company that called Hovig's, and they're downtown Los Angeles. Downtown Los Angeles, in a way, is similar to like New York, 47th Street. A little bit different, you know, not as crazy hectic, but Hovig's is a watch. They have parts, movements. That's where I used to get my ETA movements from them. I used to get my Ronda movements from them. I used to get certain watch parts from them. And they gave me this. And this, like I say, is just a little pocket knife. And I still use this. I love this. I've had this for about 25 years, maybe 26 years. And this is what I use to remove straps from watches, leather straps, not bracelets. Now we've got the quick release bracelets and everything like that, so you don't need that. But the watches that don't, I just pop it right off, and I've used this like it was like the most integral part of my overall of my tools when it came down to like popping a bracelet off. I can never use those other little tools. It was really weird. I just got so used to using this knife, and I still have it, and I still love it, and it's that's my favorite. Thanks for your question, dude. This is from Dr. Bob's Nightmare. Spanish guitar intro sounds good, Tony. Thanks, man. Here's a question for next week. What do you think of the bolo tie looking Richard Mille necklace watch? Don't hold back. I like the watermelon Zodiac. I haven't seen it. I mean, I can imagine what it looks like, but I don't like Richard Mille at all, so I hardly doubt that I would like the necklace. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I don't like Richard Mille, man. Thanks for I'll see you guys later. Thanks.